So, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with SDWT Podcast. Today, we're actually going to talk about things that I've learned or things that I've been grateful for actually discovering to some degree. And yeah, this is what the episode's going to be all about. I'll see you after the intro, as always. And the intro is still not working. That's good. Well, I actually have to then cut it in, I guess, maybe, or I'm not going to do it because it is funny. I don't know. I could do it in both ways. As you can actually see in the background or on the left side of the screen, here we have the Today I Learned subreddit or Reddit and stuff. I think it's actually the subreddit, isn't it? And there's actually a lot of things. For example, I'm actually going to pick one. Let's just pick this one. Today I learned after British bicycle rental learned that the band Queen used their bikes for a music video that involved the bicycles being ridden by naked women. The band had to buy the bicycle seats. Okay. So there's actually a lot of stories and a lot of interesting, funny, and also unnecessary things. And then I thought, and I've just looked into my brain and I told myself and asked myself, what could I be doing? I do want to do something different today. I do not want to just go through some Reddit shit and subreddit stuff and whatnot. So we're actually gonna just see what I found in the last year and a half or the past times that I've been really grateful for discovering and stuff. Therefore, yeah, a few things, or I'm actually going to show you a few pictures and a few sites and a few Wikipedias maybe as well. I don't know, I'm going to see. So the first thing is actually Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm really, really intensely grateful for meeting this person, just discovering his stuff online. He is indeed inspirational, motivational, and he's doing just such a lot of stuff, and such a lot of things that I'm doing in my life are based on what he said and what he was publishing, maybe, if you want to say that. So the podcast per se, and or the whole video thing, what I'm just doing at this point in time, this is due to him actually, or because of him, and because he told me, just not personally, but through the content he's putting out, and he's putting out a lot of content, that it is a good opportunity. And I thought, well, I'm gonna take this opportunity because I've actually been looking for just a lot of things to do, and I've just gone from dropshipping to some other bullshit, and I thought and just said to myself, I actually do not want to sell some shit. I actually do not want to just do something just to do something, and I really want to do something that makes sense. And I guess what I'm doing at this point in time just makes sense, at least for me, maybe not for everyone. But he's an incredible person. As a person per se, his craft, he knows what he's talking about and all those things. Incredible person. The next one, Tim Ferriss, definitely, and maybe as well as Gary Vaynerchuk, somebody that a lot of people might know, or a lot of you might know. And I love his podcast, I love what he's talking about, and I really like the way he is in terms of like analyzing things, deconstructing things, and figuring out the best way to do things. I think this is incredibly interesting and incredibly useful for people like me that are really not analytical. You know, I am not that. And I also gotta have to be true about that with myself actually, because even if it might be cool and it might also be and is probably also really just good thing to be and have, it's not me. I'm not such an analytical person. I'm more like a gut person, you know. I just do things out of intuition and stuff and whatnot, but I also do just have to incorporate a little bit of analytical thinking and a little bit of numbers and this and that into my life. And I think I've also done that with workouts and stuff. And yeah, really big contribution to my life, this person. Incredible as a character as well, not because of his, or not only because of the way he is, so his analytical thing, but also he's a really funny guy. He's also covering and talking to people that I'm really interested in, and he's also been really accomplished, which is also a nice thing, and I'm happy for that and happy for him as well actually. Yeah, I sometimes do wish that he's putting out, or that he would be putting out a little bit more stuff. So not only the podcast, since the podcast is, you know, it is really long, which is not a bad thing because it can really be a good thing as well, but it is maybe not something that you can consume all the time, and or something that you want to consume all the time. And I also think that it would actually be a good idea to, I don't know, just put more stuff out for him as well, but I know that it's probably something that he is not really willing to do as such. So yeah, you know, not everyone is like just Gary Vee that is putting out just such a lot of stuff and such a lot of interesting and relevant stuff for just basically everyone, whether it is on TikTok, he's crushing it, whether it is on LinkedIn, he's crushing it. YouTube actually not that much, to be honest. This is what I've recognized and what I've seen, but he's still putting out just, I think, every day something. Sometimes not, sometimes yeah. But yeah, Tim Ferriss, author, a good book. I think the books that I like most about him, and or just he might be one of the people that actually only has good books, which is actually a crazy thing, some kind of, if I think about it. But the 4-Hour Body is amazing, as far as I have just seen it in the summary that I've gone through just really lately. Then also the 4-Hour Work Week is also just a really amazing one. Then the 4-Hour Cook, I'm not quite sure. It is about learning, which is something that's incredible. So it is learning about learning, so meta learning book. Then what are we having again, or as well? Tools of Titans, also pretty cool, and also Tribes of Mentors. I do believe I haven't gone through them, but I have gone through them as a summary as far as I remember. And they have also been just really cool because it is actually like social media. You're having different opinions, you're having different just people talking about different things, and it is amazing. It really is a cool thing. Because you have so many different opinions and you can just look them up. It's like just Wikipedia, clicking an article, reading through it. It's not really long, relatively short. It's amazing. I don't have the book, by the way, but as far as I can tell by going through summaries and stuff and whatnot. Then the next person is actually Wim Hof, and I've written him incorrectly. I'm sorry, Wim, for that. I really am. Incredible person, the Iceman, and as Wikipedia actually says, a Dutch athlete. He truly is an athlete because he's holding quite some world records, and he's 60 years old, He's the Iceman, so therefore he's known for just being under ice, swimming under ice, being in an ice bath for just 2,000 hours or something like that. Or the ice bucket, you can see there, ice bucket challenge, And I think he was able to sit there for 2 hours or something without his body temperature to just change, or his skin temperature to change. I think it's been his core temperature. I know the skin temperature, I think, is relatively difficult to control. Also for him, because this is just what happens, but his inner temperature and what is inside of him was fine anyway. So he was sitting in there for quite some time, and therefore I've also looked up what he's talking about and what he's saying, and his breathing techniques, and also the cold exposure. And because of him, I've actually started to first of all research the whole cold showering thing, and then I've also started to take cold showers, which I have now been doing for a year or something. By the way, if you just start something new, if you just start a new habit or a new thing or a new whatever, please write it down. Please write down the date, because it is always something amazing to know when you've started something and when you have stopped something and stuff. Like, I don't know. I've done so many things and I've started so many things, but I don't fucking remember when I've done all these, which is a pity. It's a little bit sad. It is what it is, But it would have been cool actually to know when I've started to work out as well. I only know that it's been like I'm 4 years into it, I guess, or something, but I'm not quite sure about it. Like, really, I'm not. It's really a pity. Then the cold showering, the healthy eating, I don't know all of them. I just don't know exactly. I just know kind of when I've started and when I've just eaten my last whatever. And, but yeah, that's quite it. It's actually a little tiny bit sad and a little tiny bit bad. It is what it is. The next person we're having on the list is James Clear. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. A lot of people might know him as well. And when it comes to habits and when it comes to forming habits and dealing with habits and all these things, he's an incredible person. And there's such a lot of interesting, valuable, important, and free stuff on his website. And I've nearly gone through every single article, and I've nearly covered every single article on this channel as well, because they all are so amazing. So I really would like you to just go to the website. I might link actually everything down. I might also not. I'm actually very sorry for that, but I tend to forget about these things. So you might just check out his site there, the jamesclear.com site, and this is him, Atomic Habits. Incredible person. Like, it's really great stuff. Then The next one gonna have to be Seth Godin, and I actually should have put him a little bit closer to the beginning, I would say. It's not Seth G, but it is Seth Godin. An incredible person. I really appreciate the stuff that he's doing. I really appreciate the art that he's doing. He's actually an author, entrepreneur, and he says that he's a teacher as well. He's 59, and actually for 59 he looks really good and really young, you know? He really does. He's really in good shape. And I think he's also vegetarian or something. I kind of have a feeling, I'm not quite sure. I really am not, just take it with a grain of salt, please. But the thing is, he's talking about everything. He's talking about recognizing things. He's talking about marketing. He's talking about doing things that matter. He's talking about what you should be doing. And he's also very accomplished, 50 million net worth. He's just really well off, and he's done amazing things. For example, inventing permission marketing and inventing email marketing. Or in terms of like the emails that you really want to get, you know, not the emails that you don't want to get, but the emails you want to get. There is some credit you have to give to him, quite. But he's an amazing person. The way he talks, the way he communicates, and the way he is just incredibly nice to have. And I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for everything that he's putting out. Like, I really appreciate these people. I really, 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 really do. Such an amazing person. Really, such an amazing person. Then, for example, because I've gone through so many different book sites and I've been searching for book sites, we're having the sivers.org site, which is by Derrick Service. Derrick Service is actually a buddy of Tim Ferriss, as far as I remember. He's also very accomplished. He was the founder and also then seller of CD Baby, with having 100% of just the company. I think he got like 23 million or something for it. I don't remember. It's also not that big of a deal for him, just because he was then giving it all to a foundation. Besides maybe just giving him some sort of a loan or something. So some money, a wage or something, monthly. I don't know. I don't remember. But yes, the sivers.org site, there's a lot of books. He says that he's having more than 200 books, which is amazing, which is a really cool thing. So check them out. You know, these are all relatively, so not every one of these are pretty, how should I say, detailed, but a lot of them are, which is good, amazing. Then we're having the powermoves.com site, powermoves.com. Then we're having the samuelthomasdavis.com site. They both are just typical, quote unquote, typical book summary sites. The only problem with the powermoves.com site is that you only have like 5 book summaries a month, which is a little bit bad because they're really good and stuff. So the powermoves.com site, pretty amazing site, pretty cool site. As I said before, also the Samuel Thomas Davis site, you're gonna find the book summaries, gonna link them down. Then back in the days, which has been a really amazingly good site, which was the alanchang.com site. Really, really, really amazing for book summaries. Nowadays, you just have to pay for a lot of them. I've gone through Give and Take. Yes, there it is. Read full summary, or if Give and Take, then you have to buy for it or just pay for it. But they're just really good summaries. Back in the days, they all were free. They all, you know, which is insane. Really is insane. It might even be the case that some of them are still free, but yeah, you have to check that out. Then another one, like there are so many different sites. The Nat Eliason, there it is. He's having a lot of book by Nassim Taleb, which are pretty cool actually as well. I really also enjoy his books. For example, Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. Then all the other books, I think they are just pretty nice and pretty interesting, just to see his thoughts and what he's thinking about and all these things. And by the way as well, Stoicism, just because I'm seeing a Stoicism and Seneca, also an amazing thing in my life. Just seeing what they've been talking about, just seeing what they've been philosophizing about, whatever, it's a pretty amazing thing. It really is cool because it is a great way to live, I would say, at least, you know. The question of today is, what do you think is and or has been a really, really important thing in your life? What do you think? What do you guess? And share it maybe in the comments. Maybe other people are also going to be like, well, I needed that, and this is an amazing thing. If you're able to do something like that, if you're able to just make somebody's day by just pointing out just something, which is not a lot of work for you, but it can make someone's day. I did just try to. Then, of course, we're having Viktor Frankl and Man's Search for Meaning, which is an amazing book. Tony Robbins as a person, also amazing. Somebody else, Will Smith, amazing content. And I really like his content, quote-unquote, strategy right now, because he's putting out more and more and more on different platforms and stuff. Then we're having Les Brown, motivational speaker. Then we're having Eric Thomas, motivational speaker. And also, of course, Tony Robbins, if you want to count him as well as a motivational speaker. Then Ray Dalio, Principles, an amazing book, amazing thing. Then we're having as well, there's actually so many great books. Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference, has been a really good one. Then the Definitive Guide of Body Language, also really big contribution. The whole thing around that, really amazing one. Actually, besides the whole habit thing by James Clear, I've went through so many different books and articles on body language, it is insane. But they all were pretty cool, and especially the definitive book of body language that I've been actually covering from the powermoves.com site. I think you can still find it for free there as a summary, and it's actually a really detailed one and a relatively long one, so be aware of that. Then we're having somebody else that I've found. Maybe some YouTube channels. I like Binging with Babish. I really like it. Cooking, always something nice to just know about. Then Chocolate and Cacao, I think it's called. It's a Japanese English channel that's so fancy and so just. Is it resilient? I actually don't know. I should actually learn words somehow. And it's an amazing channel because everything is so slow and there's no music and it's just really relaxing actually. Then we're actually having PewDiePie. I like just what he's doing, and I think it is a great way to just calm down. Gary Vee, of course, Tim Ferriss, Buff Dudes and Athlete Acts if you're interested in working out and building muscle and all these things. Think great resources. Something else, ideas.ted.com site. Amazing for just some ideas. Very short articles, very interesting articles. Sometimes they do not post that much, but sometimes they just again post really a lot. Pretty interesting. Something else. 1984 by George Orwell has also been a pretty interesting book for me. I don't actually know why, because it is not really something new, but I've enjoyed it. I really have, as well as I said, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. One of the most amazing books that I've ever read in my whole entire life, and also just really important ones. Really, really, really important ones. Really important, because people matter, and people are amazing. This is what I've quite learned from that book. But yeah, I think that this is going to be it with the episode. So I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself when you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, therefore also being remembered as a nice person. And with that being said, 3 other questions that I have here are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, but knowing your purpose is definitely a really cool thing and important one, I would say as well. But yeah, I'm going to see you the next time. So bye-bye, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for just taking the time, going through this, and spending the time with me or something. I don't know. I'm going to see you. Thank you.